When I said I've got a message for Dana Altman, I didn't mean anything nefarious for our fearless leader of a basketball coach. What I meant is go get Andrej Stojakovic. This should be the number one priority without question. Without question for Oregon in the transfer portal. So, Andrej Stojakovic, and not just because he's the son of Peja Stoyakovich, who I have fond memories of watching play on the Chris Paul, David West-led Hornets back in the day with Emeka Okafor at center. Don't know who the shooting guard was. Stoyakovich was small forward. Anyway, I remember those days. I know he had some time with the Kings as well. It's his son. We're old. Let's all just deal with it and move on. This is the perfect addition. This is what Oregon needs. Right now, my excitement level for Oregon basketball is tempered. It's just kind of like, okay. It's okay. We're still waiting on Nate Biddle. I just thought of an interesting question. Would I rather have Andrej Stojakovic or Nate Biddle? Probably Nate Biddle. Yeah, Nate Biddle, but it's close. It's like 1A, 1B. So Stoyakovich played this past season at Cal. After beginning his career at Stanford, he was recruited by a number of schools, including Oregon, when he came out in the class of 2023. He had a solid first year with the Cardinal. Then he went to Cal this past season with Mark Madsen, who's a really good coach. But now he's in the transfer portal. 6'7", highly rated recruit coming out of high school, 18 points a game last year, 2 years of eligibility left. Sign me up right now. Right now. There are two reasons that this is perfect. Number one, Oregon did not have a consistent, long scoring presence on the wing last year. TJ Bamba was solid. He's 6'5", Stoyakovich 6'7". But I wouldn't describe Bamba as fully consistent since he wasn't even able to consistently shoot the three ball. And Stoyakovich is a solid three-point shooter, kind of that 31 to 32, maybe 33% range over his first couple of seasons, like in that sort of realm, which is solid. But last year is an 18-point a game score, and he was playing in the ACC because, Cal, great ACC school down there in the Bay Area. But hey, that's where we are right now. So having a wing presence like Stoyakovich would be phenomenal. Absolutely, positively phenomenal. That's reason number one. Is you're trying to replace TJ Bamba's scoring by the numbers. You have not done that yet. That has not happened, which leads me into point number two. What this Oregon transfer portal class has been missing is a proven Power 4 contributor. They have brought in some really intriguing guys. You have Devon Pryor from Texas, who last year averaged 3 points per game and didn't redshirt, I don't believe, his first year, but could get an extra year of eligibility if he wanted to. Still, 2 years left. He's 6'7", athletic, decent three-point shooter, could be lethal in the mid-range, super athlete, getting to the rim. Then they brought in TK Simpkins, who was an all-Colonial Athletic Conference selection at Elon. As I said, in the Colonial Athletic Conference. So is that proven production? At the low major level, yes. But in the Big Ten, we have no idea. And I've compared him just statistically to Raheem Moss, who this past year averaged less than 2 points a game for Oregon and was kind of a spot player off the bench for the Ducks. You need those sorts of guys who will go in and, just play some solid defense and score a bucket every now and then, but really they're in there to just spell some guys, play hard defensively, and not make any major mistakes. He was a first-team All-MAC selection, 15.5 points a game. So that's why I don't put all my eggs in the Simpkins basket, thinking to myself, yeah, he's someone who's going to come in and, well, he was 16 points a game last year. Certainly he's going to be 10, 12 a game this year. Maybe Moss could have been more if Oregon hadn't brought in TJ Bamba. They brought in TJ Bamba for a reason. He's a significantly better player. So I think those two guys, who were the first two additions, are intriguing, solid. They grade as good transfers on 24/7 Sports. I don't have the highest of expectations because I just don't know. I know that Simpkins played 2 games against Power 4 schools, Power 5 schools. This is college basketball, Power 5. Notre Dame and North Carolina, he had a couple of good outings. That's great. It is different when you are playing a Big Ten team week in, two Big Ten teams week in and week out from the beginning of January to the beginning of March. That is a different level of required production. And then they brought in Miles Goodman, the forward slash center from Penn State, who's 6'10", 6'11", 225, 230, intriguing physical prospect. Again, less than 2 points per game, totaled 1 block last season, has never played more. This was his true freshman season last year with the Nittany Lions. He never totaled more than 16 minutes per game. So those guys, I understand why they have been brought in. Totally get it. Totally get it. Nothing about them is proven. So the idea of bringing in Stoyakovich, who they have a previous relationship with, who they would have played against a couple of years ago in the Pac-12, RIP, whilst at Stanford. And I don't think that's a coincidence, by the way, that TJ Bamba and Brandon Angel came in. And yeah, these guys are from all over the place, but Bamba and Angel, the more impactful transfers, were guys who came from schools Dana Altman had coached against over the last several years. Angel had been at Stanford for 4 years. Bamba was at Villanova, but was at Washington State before that. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that connection makes a lot of sense. And it just makes a lot of logical sense. When you've seen a guy play live, you know exactly what he's capable of, even more than if you study a guy's film. It's always different in person, right? And so last year, Bamba and Angel were the impact transfers. Who were the lower impact transfers? Raheem Moss from the MAC, Akron, Ohio, and Supreme Cook from Georgetown, other side of the country. They had a role to play. Oregon's got to replace that role. I think Goodman is kind of in that Supreme Cook role. I think Simpkins is maybe going into that Raheem Moss role, potentially. We'll see. And I think Devon Pryor is kind of your Bam Tracy replacement. And we'll see what happens with Des Lindsey, who was injured last year. But a proven guy like Stoyakovich would be insert into starting lineup right here, right now. Done deal. No questions. No debate. Nothing. Just like when they brought Bamba in. You know, I was kind of on the fence about, will it be Raheem Moss, or is Des Lindsey going to play a role, or is Mookie Cook going to play, or what's going to happen? Oh, they brought in TJ Bamba. Oh, okay, yep. This would be a TJ Bamba level move, except his production and scoring has actually been greater than what Bamba's was previously, but I thought Bamba was a good player, really found his role by the end of the season, and helped propel Oregon to the round of 32 for a second straight year. Assuming you get Nate Biddle back, and that's assuming because nothing has happened, nothing has transpired. It's been all quiet on the Nate Biddle front for the last couple of weeks now. This should be your top priority. This is a perfect fit everywhere you look. He's long, he can shoot, he can score. He was in the ACC and played very well. That's all I need to know. And then you're just trying to figure out the shooting guard position. Because you'd have, if you bring Biddle back, that's an if. Your starting five would be Biddle, KJ Evans, Jackson Shellstad, Andrej Stojakovic. And we'll see what happens to the two guard spot. Remember, this transfer portal window for basketball and the timeline at which they add players goes well beyond football. Could go as far into June. We'll just have to wait and see. But priority number one for Dana Altman, in my view, is Andrej Stojakovic. Go get him, Dana. Appreciate everyone listening. I will see you next time. Have a great weekend and a wonderful rest of your day. And go Ducks.